Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from ghosts on highways to men with modified arms. Trust me when I say you want to watch this to the end. Let's jump in. Not everyone believes in paranormal events or entities. I'm pretty sure a number of you watching this video might also share the same sentiments. But how do we explain this? This incident took place around 3 a.m. when a motorcyclist was on his way home. A person suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the highway he was on. Naturally, this startled him, but just before he could properly react, the individual just disappeared. Fortunately, the rider managed to keep his composure and didn't panic. That could have resulted in a tragedy. While it's true that tech can be used to create convincing fakes, many doubted this was fake. They believed it was the real deal. Take a look at some of the comments. Several viewers claimed that this incident took place in the Philippines. Some even stated that they had seen it on television. Some went as far as analyzing the clip and stating that there were two, not one, individuals in the clip. But what do you see, and do you believe that this is indeed a ghost encounter or just a hoax? Now, I know you're probably wondering what we've got here, and you would be right to do so. I know nature has a lot up her sleeves, but this is something else. The creature appears to be a lizard with a body as long as a snake. As strange as this thing is, it turns out it's really out there. There's a whole species of lizard out there that looks like this. They're referred to as an Asian grass lizard. They're a species of long lizards found in parts of Asia like China, Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam. They're known for their long, snake-like body and tail. They like to live in grassy places and prefer to catch and eat bugs, thankfully. They're usually calm and shy, running away from trouble instead of fighting, which is good to know. A part of me wanted to declare this as CGI until I did the research. Turns out, not all strange and blurry pics online are fake. Who knew? Speaking of strange things, take a look at this clip. What do you see? Hard to tell, right? A subscriber sent this in, and we've been trying to decipher it since we received it. Some members of the team thinks it's a spider, but can spiders move their eyes like that? Others think we might be dealing with something alien. Based on the lack of availability of evidence and its lack thereof, I'm tempted to side with this assertion. The individual who sent it in doesn't know what it is either and refused to tell us where the clip came from. Let's treat this as a bonus clip. Who can find out what this is as well as where it came from? If you can and we can authenticate it, then you get the opportunity to be featured in our next clip. What do you guys say? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can find it easily. Still on the strange and weird, take a look at this clip. This video was posted online featuring a rather strange and mysterious creature. The creature appeared to have tentacles that were moving about as it floated in the air. The person who posted the video claimed that it was a leviathan, but people were not convinced. Take a look at some of the comments from the original post. Most people believed it was just a kite due to the varying shapes and sizes kites can come in. Another theory was that it was a weather balloon, but we're not exactly sure if there are weather balloons in this shape. Despite the many skeptics, some remained convinced that the creature was indeed a leviathan. For those who don't know, the leviathan is a mythical sea creature with tentacles. If we're going to be accurate to the lore, I'm not exactly sure it can fly, but hey, this is the 21st century where anything can be possible. So what do you think? As technology continues to advance at a rapid pace, scientists are exploring the possibility of transferring human consciousness to other bodies to achieve immortality. While this might seem like a distant concept, it's much closer than most of us might think. In a podcast featuring Billy Carson, he explains how human consciousness has already been transferred to robots. Listen.
Transferring animals into a computer, which they did a monkey, 2045.com. Look it up. For the monkey's in the computer, his mind is, but the body's dead. Then by 2010 or 2012, they were supposed to have been able to transfer a human consciousness into a robot. They've already done that. And the United States as well. DARPA has a project called the Avatar Project. In an Avatar Project, they have a symbiotic link from a soldier underneath a mountain somewhere, like in a bunker, connected to a field robot. And it controls it through a mind connection. If the robot is destroyed, of course, the soldier doesn't die. And the only thing that stopped us from transferring consciousness from one brain to another was data storage.
Did you hear that? Soldiers can now remotely control robots that they are symbiotically linked to, even if they're far away. This is similar to the concept seen in the popular movie Avatar, where humans control genetically engineered alien bodies. This symbiotic relationship between soldiers and robots has massive implications for warfare and raises ethical concerns. How do you think the masses reacted? Well, take a look. This development is particularly significant because it indicates that we are rapidly approaching a time when humans will be able to transfer their consciousness to other bodies. While there are many good applications for this, we just can't ignore what the negative ones could be. What do you also think about this? Imagine going on an open sea adventure and running into something like this. This was captured by a surfer while on an island. He thought he was out to surf, but the ocean had different plans. But what are these things? Obviously, we can tell they're huge and look fluffy under the water's surface. Well, it turns out that they're South American sea nettles. They're a type of jellyfish found in the Pacific Ocean near South America. They're known for being pretty big and have long tentacles and a bell-shaped body. Even though they're large, these jellyfish usually don't hurt people, even if they sting. While this might sound like an invitation to get close to one, it's still smart to be careful and not touch or swim near them. Have you ever looked at a child and thought to yourself that they're not as clueless as we make them out to be? Well, if you haven't, this next clip might just change your mind.
Honey, there's nobody in the tree.
Up there.
You can see somebody?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't see anybody, honey.
I see a girl.
You see a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
Tell me. It's Dad.
As you can already tell from the clip, this woman parked her car by a tree with a child in the back seat. The child kept pointing to the tree and claimed to see a girl on the tree who had died.
It's Dad.
Honey, I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
It's Dad. Look, see? I see it. It's Dad.
What? The tree is dead?
No, a girl's dead.
Why do you think there's a girl dead?
Despite the woman's best efforts to find this girl or any sign of a presence, there was nothing or no one around on the tree. Naturally, this upset her a little, which is why she recorded and uploaded online to search for answers. Naturally, the discussions and arguments were all over the place with this clip. Some people called it a gift, while others stated that this kind of thing was natural with kids. Someone even shared a story featuring her son. Kids see ghosts. My son, when he was 2, asked me, "Who's that guy?" and pointed in our hallway. My husband was out of town at the time. I asked him if the guy was scary, and he said no, but I do believe he was seeing something. Another also shared her own experiences as a child. When I was 6, I saw an old man with a hat standing on the porch looking through the sliding glass door. At night, I screamed and my parents ran into the bedroom to find out why the man disappeared. Later, they received a call that Grandpa passed. As interesting as these sound, not everyone believes in these encounters. One comment suggested that it was just a figment of the child's wild imagination. While it's true that children have an active imagination and are prone to make up stories, these encounters are all too evident to ignore. After all, there's no smoke without fire. But what do you think? Did this child see something, or was it just a figment of their imagination?
Dad.
Honey, I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
Dad, look, see? I see it.
Bigfoots are cryptid creatures that have been a topic of interest amongst the paranormal community for decades.
Haley, wait. That's a bear. Haley, that's a bear. Haley. Dude, that's not a freaking bear. Dude, that's not a freaking bear. Dude.
In this particular video footage, a couple was spending time in the woods, having fun, and capturing videos of their experience. Suddenly, they noticed something moving among the trees ahead of them. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but as they continued observing, they realized that it was walking upright on two legs like a human and using its arms to push branches out of the way as it walked. The creature was covered in thick, matted hair which appeared to be dark brown color. Its face was obscured, making it difficult to determine any identifiable features. The couple was understandably startled and frightened by the encounter and immediately took off running in the opposite direction. Upon watching the footage, many within the paranormal community believed that it matches the description of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. However, there are still others who remain skeptical. Regardless, this encounter is just one of many that continue to fuel the fascination and mystery surrounding these elusive creatures.
Haley, wait. That's a bear. Haley, that's a bear. Haley.
Someone captured this strange-looking creature in the woods. At first glance, it doesn't look like any creature we've seen, but the one who uploaded it insists it was a chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with it, the chupacabra is a legendary blood-sucking dog-like creature that's infamous for attacking livestock. Its name means goat sucker, as it was first reported attacking goats in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Members of the paranormal community were, however, quick to point out that the creature was a guara or maned wolf, an actual species found in South America. Comparing the picture of the wolf and the creature, they do bear similarities in their long legs, ears, and tail. However, the creature in question looks sickly and appears to be missing its fur, giving it a grayish appearance. This could be due to a variety of reasons, such as malnutrition or disease. As for whether it's a sickly maned fox or a genuine chupacabra, I'll leave it up to you to decide. In this footage, you can see a jet pilot pouring water into a cup and drinking it while the craft goes around, but the air never spills. How is this possible? Well, this is because of three main reasons. Firstly, as the aircraft moves, it creates a force called centripetal force. This force pushes the water toward the bottom of the cup, helping to keep it in place even if the cup is tilted or upside down. Secondly, water has a property called inertia, which means it wants to keep moving in the same direction as the aircraft. So even if the cup is tilted or turned upside down during the aircraft's maneuvers, the water stays inside because it wants to follow the aircraft's movement. Lastly, there's something called surface tension on the water's surface, like a thin skin that holds the water molecules together. This surface tension helps to keep the water in the cup, especially when the cup is tilted or inverted. With all these factors combined, the water stays put in the cup even when the aircraft is pulling off tricks, allowing the pilot to enjoy their drink without any spills. Either that, or the clip is fake, which is your money on. Our next clip takes us all the way to Mexico, where a farmer made a startling discovery: a small, humanoid creature that appeared to be completely dried up. The creature was in a fetal position with a pair of arms and legs. Although it was only a few inches long, the shape of its skull was quite large, which led to much speculation. Some people believe the creature was an aborted or miscarried fetus due to its small size. Others have suggested that it could be an alien. Some claim that the creature was an extraterrestrial being that had somehow ended up on Earth. And some think that the creature was a duende. For those unfamiliar with the term, in Mexican folklore, duendes are small mischievous creatures that are said to inhabit the wilds of the country. They're known for their distinctive physical features, which include oversized heads and limbs. Despite much debate and speculation, the true identity of this thing remains a mystery. Having seen it yourself, what do you think it is? Speaking of strange humanoid creatures, a subscriber sent this next one in. While the original post stated this was a mythic humanoid, that is, a mythological creature that's only part human, the subscriber believes it's simply human and nothing else. I've reviewed the clip several times, and I must say that while it does have a strange appearance, it might simply be a human and nothing else. The clip may have been edited, or he or she may be wearing a costume. That might account for the strange look. Beyond that, I don't see anything paranormal happening unless, of course, I'm under the power of this mythic human and it's making me say that to hide its identity. What do you think? I know what you're thinking. Monster. Would you believe me if I told you that this was actually real? This is a frilled shark. This unique-looking creature is often referred to as a living fossil because its physical characteristics have remained largely unchanged for millions of years. The frilled shark is a long eel-like body that can reach up to 2 meters, 6.5 feet in length. Its flat head is equipped with rows of tiny needle-like teeth that are perfectly suited for capturing prey in the deep ocean. The shark's most distinctive feature, however, is its gills. They're frilly and resemble lace, giving the creature its name. Wondering why you don't see this often? Well, the answer is simple. Frilled sharks are typically found in deep ocean waters, living in depths ranging from 200 to 1,500 meters, 660 to 4,920 feet. They prefer to reside near the edges of continents and in underwater canyons where they can hunt their prey, small fish, squid, and other deep-sea creatures. These sharks are not often seen by humans due to their deep-sea habitat, but when they are, they're truly a sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree? A security camera captured a remarkable event during a torrential downpour. At first, a sharp whistle-like sound pierces the air, followed by a sudden blinding flash of lightning that produces a deafening thunder. As the lightning dissipates, a strange, eerie red hue appears on the ground and all the lights in the vicinity go out. It's fascinating to note how the red hue seems to linger on the ground as though something has been left behind. One commenter on the video speculated that the incident was caused by lightning hitting a transformer. It's an interesting theory, but what do you think? Humans are known to engage in thrilling activities that push the boundaries of their comfort zone. However, sometimes these activities can be extremely risky. For instance, consider this incident where a group of individuals on an ocean adventure filming their experience suddenly came across a large fish with its dorsal fin protruding from the water. The creature was quite aggressive and began chasing their boat at high speed, creating a scary situation for the individuals involved. Despite the danger, the group managed to maneuver their boat skillfully and escaped unharmed. Similarly, another group of individuals embarked on a boat ride in a forest by a river, hoping to enjoy the beauty of nature. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn when they spotted a large bear standing on the riverbank. As soon as the bear noticed the boat, it began to run after them, causing a wave of panic among the individuals on the boat as the bear was gaining on them. Fortunately for them, they managed to steer the boat away from the bear and reached the safety of the shore. A close call by all standards.
Barto Küçüktepe köyünde akşam saat 5:30 sıralarında ben hayvanları otlatırken havadan aniden bir cismin ortaya çıktığını ben
In the skies of the Vardo district of Mus, this was captured. The clip shows a dark object with a human-like body. You can see the shoulders, arms, and legs, but the head is not visible. What could this be? One commenter said it was a drone with clothes on. I guess that could make sense. Another commenter said that this was a flying Bigfoot. I mean, look closely. This thing has thick arms and legs. A sassy commenter also said this. Oh, look, another video of a balloon-like object moving in a balloon-like way. Another also called it a balloon as well. It's almost like these guys knew what I was going to say and said it, but seriously, what do you guys think this is? The Dogman is a creature that has been the subject of many myths and legends for centuries. The creature is believed to be a hybrid between man and dog, possessing the physical attributes of both species. Sightings of this creature have been reported all around the world, but they're often dismissed as mere hoaxes or misidentifications. However, this recent sighting has caught the attention of many people. A street camera captured footage of something moving across a highway. The creature was moving on all fours, but its appearance was not necessarily canine or feline. Or rather, we couldn't tell because of how blurry the footage looked. It quickly went viral on social media, and some believed that the legendary Dogman had been caught on camera. The sighting even made it on a local television news, which further fueled the fascination surrounding the mysterious creature. Despite the widespread interest in the sighting, there's still no concrete evidence to prove that's the Dogman. But what do you think? In recent years, sightings of unidentified flying objects, aliens, and strange orbs in the sky have become more frequent. It's become so common that people are no longer sure what to think when they witness them.
Look! Look at my phone! Look at her moving orbs! Look at this! There's fucking aliens! That's not fucking normal! That was the moon! What's happening?
Recently, a man captured footage of a peculiarly shaped glowing object in the sky that appeared after the moon disappeared from the night sky. The video shows the man sounding frightened and a woman in the background trying to reassure him that the object was just a tree covering the moon. The man who captured the video claimed that the object was not like anything he'd ever seen before. He described it as being oddly shaped and glowing with an intense light. His voice in the video suggests he was genuinely scared and unsure of what he was witnessing.
No, there's nothing fucking in it. I've seen this shit before in my life.
Okay, but on there it's not. But if you look over here, look, you can barely see it. Is that the tree branch? Is that actually...
No.
What is it?
No.
Wait, I see it. Look. There's a big fucking ton of them. You can see it.
It's not... It's... The moon just fucking disappeared.
However, the woman in the background of the video tried to explain to him that it was just a tree covering the moon and not an alien spacecraft. Who do you think is in the right here?
No, this is... I know exactly what's happening because... No, something weird's happening.
Now, what do we have here? Before you scream alien or cryptid, you should know that this is someone's arm with body modification. It's insane or cool, depending on what you're into. The strange bumps running along the arm almost resemble the vertebrae of a spine, don't they? And that massive X marking on the back of the palm? People do go crazy about these things. Are you one of them, and would you try this? Let us know in the comments section. Here we've got this van that's causing a stir on the internet. If you're wondering why, take a look.
这个是一个75×1米的哈，是长安款的，福特款的呢。
You see it, don't you? Yeah, that looks like an oven at the back of the van. It should not exist, but there it is. As strange as that is in itself, here's what's puzzling people. The opening is big enough to fit a human in there. The big question on everyone's mind, what on earth could a human-sized oven in the back of a van be for? It's not exactly your typical barbecue setup, so what is it? Some in the community believe it might be a mobile crematorium. Yeah, you heard that correctly, a crematorium on wheels. Could it be truly a crematorium, or is there something that we're missing? Please do share your thoughts in the comments section.
这个是一个75×1米的哈，是长安款的，福特款的呢。
Next, we have this towering figure, a real-life modern-day giant. Meet this 24-year-old gentleman who hails from Pakistan and is breaking records in the height department. He stands head and shoulders above the crowd, making quite the impression. It's like he's living in a world of his own up there. Exceptionally tall people often garner attention due to their unique physical characteristics. Human height can be influenced by various factors, including genetics, nutrition, and overall health. But some are naturally tall without any underlying medical conditions. What's your take on this towering individual? A real-life giant, or just someone who's exceptionally good at reaching for the top shelf? Entering a cave and stumbling upon a pride of lions is not an everyday occurrence. It sounds like a scene straight out of a wildlife documentary. The image of these majestic creatures huddled up in a small cave opening is quite surreal. It certainly is a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence, and the one filming is very fortunate that the lions didn't see him as a threat. Even if they did, they chose to simply threaten him without attacking. Perhaps they were taking a nap after a substantial meal, or maybe they were simply not in the mood. Perhaps they also didn't want to move out of their comfort zone, as it looked like the cave offered a cool and sheltered spot for a rest. In Georgia, a pair of famous YouTubers set out into the woods to investigate an old abandoned house. When they got there, the house was empty with not much to film, so they decided to look around. This led them to the lower part of the house. As they were there, they heard footsteps coming from the house above them, which was strange because they were the only ones present.
So that's a 1958 Coke bottle, right? What is that?
So they crawled out of there only to be met with silence and emptiness. Who was that third person they heard? Was it the ghost of the former resident of the house, or was it a spirit present? Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment? If you haven't already, it goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. In the shots inside the car, you see the driver and another person chilling in the front seat. All normal. Now, if you know anything about our channel, it's that we don't do normal, and the road shots say it all. Initially, it's just an empty street, but a few seconds later, and bam! Out of nowhere, a strange figure materializes on the road. You can see it in a few pictures, and then it vanishes into thin air. If it were me, I'd be scared out of my wits. Aaron believes this is a legitimate encounter. But what's your take? During heavy rainfall, someone captured this in the night sky. There was a loud screeching sound followed by a loud boo and this strange green laser coming from the sky under the earth. Now, the person recording suggests it could be an explosion, but I'm leaning toward alien invasion vibes here. I mean, what kind of explosion comes with sound effects and a green laser light show? Are we sure someone didn't accidentally open a portal to another dimension? I'm curious to know your take on this. Explosion or something more extraterrestrial? Our next footage was taken by some hikers in British Columbia as far back as 2013. Take a look. They were on a mountain when they noticed a dark furred humanoid walking below from a distance. They believed they had seen Bigfoot. Looking at the footage, it has to be. But then again, there's only so much we can see. Skeptics who saw the footage believed it couldn't be declared as a Bigfoot, which comes as no surprise to us. After all, skeptics often attribute such sightings to misidentifications, shadows, or other natural phenomena. In many cases, what people believe to be Bigfoot turns out to be a bear, a person, or some other explainable phenomena. So the question remains, was this a genuine Bigfoot sighting, or could there be a more rational explanation for the figure the hikers saw? On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. You wake up one serene morning, the world outside blanketed in fresh snow after a night of gentle flurries. As you groggily approach the window to take in the wintry scene, you're met with an unexpected sight. A majestic moose, tall and proud, right outside your window. Its breath forms little clouds in the chilly air as it curiously peers into your room, almost as if it's offering a friendly good morning. The moose, with its massive antlers and a coat of snowflakes, seems to embody the peaceful charm of the winter landscape. Take a look at this footage that was taken in Ukraine. In it, you can see a house across a green field moving. Did you catch that? A house is moving. Since when do houses move? What if I told you it wasn't a house at all? This, my friends, is an army tank camouflaged as a house. Just imagine being stalked by a house. These guys are certainly taking camouflage to a whole new level, wouldn't you agree? Someone filmed this strange creature in the woods. At first glance, you'd see a Sasquatch, but a second look will reveal it's its canine cousin, if you can call it that. Many who saw it are convinced we're dealing with the Dogman, and looking at it, I can understand why they think that. The creature looks a lot like Husky, if you know what I mean. This also has got some talking in the paranormal community that we could be dealing with a werewolf instead. There are some who also believe that this is a hoax. Yes, by some, I mean our good old skeptics. But what do you guys think? Is this a genuine encounter with a cryptid, or is this simply an attempt to mislead us? Share your thoughts. What creatures do you think we are looking at here? This footage surfaced back in 2018 from a farm in Indiana, and it shows what I can only describe as a hideous-looking creature. The body of the creature looks like that of a goat, but its long neck and strange face say otherwise. When this footage surfaced on the internet, people were quick to give their opinions about it, and given its appearance, most comments were pretty harsh. Some said the creature was the ugliest animal in the world. Others said it looked like the devil himself, while others called it the monster goat. But after a little research, we found out that this is not a monster goat or the devil himself. It's called a Damascus goat. They're a rare breed of goat with rather distinct features. This one, however, looks this way according to some because of selective breeding. Can the experts confirm or debunk this? While out in the mountains in Turkey, a group of men came across a creature on a hill staring down at them. From the footage, we can tell that the creature had a pair of horns and eyes glowing in the dark. Its head resembled that of a goat, while its body looked almost like a human crouching down. Could this be the legendary Goat Man? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Wondering what's happening here? Well, this footage is apparently from Texas, and the whole vicinity was closed off because of low oxygen levels. This resulted in thousands of fish washing up ashore. But it didn't end there. Japan also faced the same situation, where fish were also washed up ashore because of low oxygen levels. What on earth is causing this? The truth is, no one could give us a single convincing answer. So was it something environmental, like changes in water conditions or pollution, or could we be dealing with some underwater cosmic event that's got fish feeling breathless? Whatever it is, it's making waves, not the good kind. We've heard of the Fountain of Youth and know loads about it, but has any one of you ever heard about a miracle rock? No? Well, watch this clip. Someone burns this strange black stone and a clear liquid appears. Then they smear it on a cut on their hand, which appears to have a cut on it. After a few seconds, the cut closes up. Imagine how many lives we could help if this was real. Well, according to the one who uploaded this footage, it exists and it's called the Bangfa Stone. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either, but they claim it's found in the Amazon forest and has great healing properties. I mean, we'd be doing extensive research into this, so subscribe and like if you haven't already. But until the findings of our research are out, what do you think? Is this real, or do you believe it's a hoax? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Now that's a wild wake-up call. Imagine unzipping your tent all ready to face the day, and boom. There's a deer right there giving you the morning stare down. This camper had the experience and didn't have to imagine it. Lucky guy. It's almost like Mr. Deer there is his campsite guardian waiting for him to join the great outdoors. What do you think of it? Spooky or cute? Imagine being on a railway track and having a creature show up on it and refuse to move. This is what happened to these Russians who were simply going about their daily activities. We're not sure why the moose got on the track or why it's even refusing to move despite the loud horns, but you can't deny the fact that it's cute. If you were the one in charge of the train, what would you have done? Would you have been as patient as the ones in this footage, or would you have done something else? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. A trail camera captured this creature in the woods. This has to be a bipedal wolf-like creature. That's a lot of words jumbled up together, but I know you get me. Just look at its snout and hairy body. From the waist down, it appears to be human. The darkness makes it hard to see, but we can see enough. I mean, take a look at its knee. So what could it be? Well, two things come to mind. The first originates from spooky stories and folklore, suggesting it might be a werewolf or a dogman. You know, the creatures that often show up in eerie tales. The weird features of this creature kind of support that idea. Aaron believes it's definitely a dogman, and I can't argue with him on that. The second thing that comes to mind has to do with the more skeptical folks. Some were already in the original post asking, hey, could this be a person in a costume pulling off a prank in the deep, dark forest? Instead of arguing these things out, tell us what you think. Dogman, costume, hoax? Be blunt. We'll be reading in the comments. Now let's dive into another spooky scene. A man and his friend cruising one dark night when suddenly they stumble upon something straight out of a horror movie. So we have about 6 folks decked out in red robes with eerie white masks covering their faces. If you were driving and you saw this, you'd turn around, but not our brave driver. He kept driving, and when they noticed the car, they also didn't run. Instead, they lined up on both sides of the road to allow the cars to drive by. This is an unsettling situation on all levels. The big mystery here, who were those masked figures and why in the world were they standing in the middle of the road? Could they be ritualistic gatherings, or are we dealing with supernatural phenomena? Now, some skeptics are calling foul, saying it's all staged for a scare. What's your take on this? Is it a spooky encounter with the unknown, or just a well-crafted performance to give everyone a good scare? Still on Bigfoot, we travel all the way to snowy Russia for our next footage. Take a look. Now, you may not understand what's happening, but the recorder of the footage decided to embark on a journey into the snowy night to prove to everyone that the Bigfoot that they had apparently been seeing was nothing more than a hoax. Once out there, however, he started to notice these strange prints in the snow. Although skeptical, he started to record just in case there was a Bigfoot, and that's exactly what he found. Some 2 kilometers from him, he saw a creature moving. Zooming in, he recorded what you see on your screen, but of course it's blurry due to how zoomed in the footage is. He truly believes he encountered a Bigfoot. Some have called the whole thing a hoax, stating that they couldn't understand how the first footage was as clear as day and the last one was as blurry as the dark night. Quite frankly, I know zooming in could do that to footage, but perhaps that's a convenient way to explain a hoax. What do you think? Did this Russian really encounter a Bigfoot, or is he playing mind games? Venturing into an abandoned cave can indeed unleash surprises, and it sounds like this couple got more than they bargained for. They were on a hike in the mountains when they heard a noise coming from the cave nearby. Now, most folks call it a day, but not these two. They decide to soldier on. As they went further into the cave, the noise strangely stopped, but they still decided to check it out, and what they saw scared them out of the place. There, emerging from the darkness of the cave, was a creature with glowing eyes. It was very slender and tall and made a strange ticking sound. What could they have seen in the cave? Logically, there could be several explanations. It might be a creature native to the cave, perhaps a type of animal adapted to low-light conditions. Looking at its features, however, I'm pretty sure it's something sinister. Take a look at this video clip. At first glance, it's just a regular aeroplane making its way across the sky. No big deal, right? But here's where it gets interesting. If you take a closer look in slow motion, there's this mysterious cloaked craft that whooshes by. Even in slow motion, it's moving at a pace that'll make your head spin. Now let's not jump to conclusions and declare it's aliens or anything, but it does make you ponder, doesn't it? There might be some other things up there sharing the vastness of the sky with us. It's like a subtle hint that there's more to our surroundings than meets the eye. What are your thoughts? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Whoa, talk about an unexpected aerial encounter. So someone's up there soaring in a hang glider over the Texas skies, minding their own business, when they spot a craft in the sky that's neither a plane nor a helicopter. The owner of the footage thinks it's a Metapod UFO. Now, Metapod or not, the big question remains, what in the world could this craft be? Is it a secret government project, an experimental aircraft, or maybe just some intergalactic tourists making a pit stop in Texas? What's your take on this airborne enigma? Alien visitors, a high-tech experiment, or just a really fancy drone with a flair for the dramatic? If you didn't think Bigfoot or the Sasquatch was real, perhaps this next footage might change your mind. Enjoy. Once the footage starts, we're introduced to a crime scene. In a second or two, we see something dark, furry, and tall move in the background. Enter our Bigfoot. At this point, any skeptic might think that it's nothing more than a man in a costume. If you're one of those, you're forgiven. The creature moving in the background then easily picks up a tree and then hits the ground or another tree with it. Not particularly sure what it's doing, but you have to admit that it takes some strength and power to pull that off, and no man can do that. If you're a skeptic, what do you have to say for yourself after seeing this clip? A man went out in the snow with his dog just to enjoy the winter. Suddenly, a wild moose appears. Now, most people would think, oh, well, it's just a moose. They're chill, right? Well, not this one. The moose decides to go full-on sprint mode toward the guy. Probably upset about something. Luckily, he moved out of the way. From what we can tell, this moose is not a morning person. The dog, on the other hand, seems to have a lot of energy because it starts to bark at the huge moose in an attempt to save its owner. Luckily, the moose did not attack any further, and the man called his dog and both retreated to the comfort of their home. During an eclipse on October the 4th, 2023, someone managed to capture not just the usual sun and moon show, but another bright sphere hanging out behind the sun. Do you see it? Can you guess its name? No? Well, it's allegedly called Nibiru. I know you might be confused, so let's delve into the Nibiru conspiracy theory. The conspiracy states that there's this made-up planet called Nibiru, or Planet X, and it's supposedly heading straight for Earth, bringing all sorts of disasters with it. But here's the thing, scientists and astronomers have looked into it and they say no real evidence for this planet or any danger of a collision exists. In short, it's a theory that's been widely disapproved by the experts. Now, we all know that the government has been up to no good these days, hiding a lot of information from the public. Who is to say that this is also one of the things they want to hide from us?
Está flotando este pájaro. No se mueve. Dios mío, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto?
Here's a curious tale. This man stumbled upon a bird stuck mid-air in the sky. The bird is just hanging there, wings spread wide, not moving an inch. Before we start questioning reality, there might be a simpler explanation. Birds, especially hawks or eagles, sometimes catch rising air currents to stay suspended without flapping much. It's their way of saving energy while keeping an eye on things. So even though it might feel like a scene from a sci-fi movie, there's a good chance it's just a bird taking a break up there. I know it's a big stretch, but, well, who knows? Aaron believes it's a glitch in the Matrix, but share your thoughts too. This person was driving on the road in the middle of the night when he came across this in the sky. You see it, don't you? A strange person floating in the sky. Is it human, though? I mean, it's hard to tell since whatever it is has a robe on. I have my theories on what this might be, but looking at it, what do you see? Tell us in the comment section. Have you seen a ladder take a walk? Well, if you haven't, today's your lucky day. Take a look. Yup, that's a ladder walking away. At some point, my assistant thought it was just the wind, but the wind won't move it in the way it did unless there was some invisible person working it out. We slowed the footage to try and see if there was any strings attached to any of the legs, but we couldn't find any convincing patterns that would establish it. We were left to accept that the ladder is indeed walking. How is it doing that? Oh, we wish we knew. Perhaps some things are best left a mystery. Behold the mesmerizing serpent captured in the lens of fascination, a horned snake with orange skin. Its back is covered in spikes like a dragon from ancient stories deciding to show up in the form of this amazing snake-like marvel. It's like a mythical creature coming to life. At first glance, one might entertain the notion of a horned puff adder, but no, this snake is something else entirely. It's not your regular snake, it's like a mystery in itself. With majestic proportions and all these intricate spikes covering its slithery body, what type of snake is this? But hold on, here's a twist. We can't rule out that this might just be a fake snake created with technology. You know, people can pull off some pretty convincing illusions these days, so the mystery might be more about how it was made rather than what it actually is. What comes to mind when you see this man? If you said Cyclops, you wouldn't be alone. I mean, he has just one eye. I know there are cases of people born with various physical differences, like one leg or extra limbs due to defects or genetic variations, but in this case, it's tempting to let the imagination wander a bit. Could this be a modern-day Cyclops in the making? In Greek mythology, Cyclops were giants with single, large eyes in the center of their foreheads. They're often depicted as powerful and sometimes menacing beings. In the modern world, however, when it comes to individuals born with a single eye, it's typically a result of a congenital condition known as cyclopia. Cyclopia is a rare and serious birth defect where during the early stages of development, the baby forms only one eye instead of the usual two. It happens when the eye sockets don't fully separate like they should while the embryo is growing. So yes, this man can be called a Cyclops, except he's not a giant. On second thoughts, I don't think it'll be nice to call him that, assuming the video isn't actually a hoax, but do let us know what you think. Have you ever seen a sewer cover dance? If you answered no, then boy, are you in luck. Enjoy. This footage was captured by a man who noticed a sewer cover dancing. It's not a waltz or anything remotely close, but how else do you describe this? There was no one around, no indication of a rope attached to it, which makes the whole thing strange. The man decided to film it, but I'm starting to believe that there are some invisible and invincible entities messing with us humans for entertainment. What do you think? Our next footage is one of the reasons why people believe that we are indeed in a matrix. A lighter was put on a table by a wall. The fire was lit, but when you looked at the wall, there was something strange going on. The shadow of the lighter was showing on the wall, but the fire was not. There could be a few explanations for such an occurrence. One possibility is that the lighting conditions and the camera angle created a situation where the shadow was more prominent than the flame itself. Shadows can sometimes be more defined depending on the light source and the angle. What are your thoughts? Hold on to your history books because things are about to get wild. Scientists are on a mission to bring back the woolly mammoth. You know, those giant furry elephants that went extinct ages ago. Now, this information has been going around for a while. It sounds like a fairy tale when it started, but not anymore. These scientists believe that in just 4 years, we could have woolly mammoths casually strolling the earth with us. Sounds unbelievable, I know, but would you be down for some mammoth meet and greet, or is this a bit too much of a Jurassic Park vibe for comfort? Stepping away from the height department, let's take a look at this smooth heist. Two thieves roll up to someone's place and one of them is wielding an antenna. Now, you might be thinking, what's with the antenna? Well, these crafty folks are using it to boost the connection between the car inside the house and the electric car parked outside. So as soon as they get the connection, the car opens and they can drive away with it like they own it. Now, to outsmart these high-tech bandits, the tip is to keep your car keys in a metal container or a special pouch away from your car. Those who leave their keys by the door are basically giving these thieves a VIP pass to a free ride. At least, that's what Julius told me. Can anyone confirm this? AI is everywhere now and involved in everything now that we basically can no longer imagine a future without some sort of AI. But is AI as safe as we think it is? Before you answer, watch this footage. Yes, those are AI robots sitting in a game. While many think this is cute and represents an advancement in the human race, you have to agree that it could be also dangerous. I mean, what if these things turn on us and start attacking? Who would be there to keep us safe? While we are trying to figure out the strange creatures and phenomena that plague our world, there are also those who choose to do strange things that leave us all shocked and questioning them. This footage was taken on a train. In the footage, we see a person in a costume and heavy makeup eating spaghetti on the floor. I mean, this is a train, and I don't even want to get started on how unsanitary that is. But what is wrong with this person? Could it be that he needs help psychologically, or is he just doing this for attention? Any New Yorker with an answer? Now brace yourself for a peculiar scene. In this footage, where a man gets his mouth wide open, stretched to the max, it's like he's on the verge of throwing up. But here's the kicker. Instead of regular sounds, he's letting out these eerie, otherworldly tones. Hang on, though, because it gets even stranger. According to the source, the man isn't just having a bizarre moment. No. He's apparently in the process of turning into a goat. Yeah, you heard that right. A goat. Now, I'm not a shapeshifter expert, but turning into a goat sounds like the plot of a supernatural drama, and I'm all for it. What's your take on this bizarre transformation? Goat man on the loose, or just a creative hoax in action? Still on heavenly bodies, this footage was recorded from the International Space Station. And what do we see? Strange glowing orbs just hanging out up there. Now the big question is, are we dealing with some kind of extraterrestrial craft, or are these orbs actually celestial entities? The space around Earth is populated with satellites, space debris, and other objects. Glowing lights could be reflections of these objects, especially when caught in the sunlight. But we cannot rule out the possibility of extraterrestrial crafts out there, because just like Nibiru, there might be some truth to these conspiracies, or do you think I'm losing it at this point? We have seen strange things on this channel, but none compared to what I'm about to show you. Are you ready? Have a look. Yes, you're actually looking at a bear with what looks like a mohawk on its back. We couldn't believe it either and had to quickly run a Google image search, but nothing came up. Google thought it was a cinnamon bear, but cinnamon bears don't have hair like that on their back. Could this be some rare mutation in that particular bear, or is there something funny going on in the woods where this image was captured? It's hard to say or verify since the uploader of the capture didn't state where it was captured, but do tell me what you think. As you ponder on the unknown species, take a look at this interesting footage. What do you see? If you said giant tracks, you were right, but who could they belong to? Well, if you know anything about cryptids and you have been following this page for a while, then the answer should be pretty much simple. It's Bigfoot. Yeah, you heard that right, a Bigfoot. The person who stumbled upon this massive footprint discovered several others nearby. This was preserved because of the mud at the riverbank. It's said that the authorities tried to get rid of the evidence but couldn't get it all. If that's true, then I wonder what else are they hiding from us. But as you wonder with me, I have a task for you. I intentionally left out the area where this footage was taken from. Can you guess? If you know, drop the name in the comments section, and if you're right, you get a shout out in our next video. Brace yourself for this next one. There's a baby with black eyes, and no, it's not some edited clip or visual trick. It's a real baby. Now, we're not talking about the creepy black-eyed kids thing here. So what could be going on? Well, we don't actually know for sure, beyond the fact that the one who sent it in insists he was there when it was recorded. Some folks who saw the clip are guessing that the baby might have experienced some kind of trauma, making the eyes look dark. They speculate it would get better after a few days. Others are saying that perhaps the baby just has larger pupils that will grow into those eyes over time. Now, I haven't heard of that before, but neither has anyone I know seen this before as well. It's one of those things that sparks a lot of speculation and different ideas. This situation, however, is something that has been observed quite frequently in recent times. A lot of recent childbirths result in these babies looking like they're auditioning for a role in an Exorcist movie. What do you think could be going on? So the owner of a remote property sets up her surveillance camera for safety, and what does it capture? A strange entity zooming across the camera. This entity was in a long robe that swept the floor and covered it from head to toe. In its head, some of the robes were even flying in the air as the entity moved. Now, the property owner was very alarmed when he saw the footage. This entity looked very weird, and its movements were very eerie, almost as if it was floating and gliding at the same time. What do you reckon it could be? Please do share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. This final clip is one of my favorites. Enjoy. Two pedestrians were about to cross the road, each person standing across from the other on the side of the road. The car taking the footage stopped for them to cross. Before anyone could understand what was happening, the older-looking pedestrian quickly scooped up the child and ran to the other sidewalk. In a split second, we know why. Another car overtakes from the side at high speed. The child might have died had the pedestrian not acted quickly. That was a close one. It's great to see people still put their lives on the line for those who need it. And that ends today's episode. Thanks for staying to the end. Oh yeah, before you go, with there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love. See you in the next one.